Essay number 65, 7 Reasons Why Heartbreak is Often Crucial for Human Growth. Let me tell you about the most beautiful lie we tell ourselves, that we can grow without pain. We want transformation without discomfort. We want wisdom without experience. We want depth without having been broken open. But every philosopher, every poet, every person who's ever said something worth remembering knew better. Rumi called it the wound where the light enters. Elizabeth Kubler-Ross said the most beautiful people are the ones who've known defeat, suffering, struggle, because that's how they developed appreciation, sensitivity, understanding. Khalil Gibran believed pain carves out the space in your heart for joy. Dostoevsky claimed that only through suffering can a large intelligence and deep heart be born. N.C. Joy Bell C. compared us to stars. We're dying, collapsing, until we realize we're actually becoming supernovas, more beautiful than we ever were before. They're all talking about the same thing, the strange alchemy that turns our worst experiences into our greatest teachers, the heartbreak that somehow impossibly makes us whole. You know this already. You've lived it. That relationship that destroyed you but taught you who you are. That failure that redirected your entire life. That loss that broke you open and let something better grow in the cracks. It's the phenomenon everyone experiences but nobody can quite explain. The catalyst that shatters you, the rock bottom that becomes your foundation, the suffering that you're somehow grateful for when it's all over. It's human metamorphosis, the darkness that finally lets you see the light. And if we could understand why our pain is necessary, maybe we could bear it with more grace, or at least learn to listen to it before it has to scream. So here are the 7 reasons why heartbreak is often crucial for human growth. First, suffering is only necessary until we realize it isn't, but it usually takes something to make us realize that. Pain and suffering are not the same thing. We actually love pain. Think about it. We make the same face during an orgasm as we do when we're being tortured. Crying feels good. Physical pain keeps us alive by warning us of danger. It's suffering we hate, and suffering is just resistance to pain. We don't choose what hurts us. That's good, that's protective. But we do choose what we suffer over. We choose to resist, to fight, to deny what's happening. And it's in that resistance that we create our own hell. The heartbreak forces us to stop resisting, to finally let go, to realize that the suffering was always optional, always self-created, always a choice we didn't know we were making. Second, human beings think they're seeking happiness, but they're actually seeking comfort and familiarity above all else. Here's the truth nobody wants to admit. People are terrible at predicting what will make them happy. We can only imagine variations of what we've already known. So when we plan our future happiness, we're really just recreating our past, even when that past wasn't actually happy at all. We choose familiar misery over unfamiliar possibility every single time. We stay in relationships that are killing us slowly because at least we know that death. We keep jobs that drain our souls because at least we know that emptiness. Until our comfort zone becomes too uncomfortable to bear, until the familiar pain becomes unbearable, we won't seek something genuinely better. The heartbreak is what finally makes the comfort zone more painful than the unknown. Third, suffering teaches us that trying to change the external world to be happy is like trying to change what's on the movie screen instead of changing the film in the projector. Byron Katie says it perfectly. Once we realize where the lint is, we can clear the lens itself. This is the end of suffering and the beginning of a little joy in paradise. The lens is your mind, your perception, the filter through which you see everything. We spend our lives trying to rearrange the external world, get the right partner, the right job, the right body, the right life. But heartbreak shows us the futility of that. It forces us to turn inward, to realize that we've been trying to change the reflection instead of what's being reflected. Your mind is the projector. Change what it's playing, and the whole movie changes. Fourth, often suffering comes as a breakdown, which is really just a breakthrough we haven't seen the other side of yet. Sometimes we don't know what's best for us, but somehow our deeper self does. Call it subconscious, call it intuition, call it soul. Something in us knows when it's time to break our own heart for the sake of something greater. You've felt this. That relationship you sabotaged because some part of you knew it was wrong, even though you couldn't explain why. That job you walked away from, even though it made no logical sense. That life you destroyed because something in you knew it wasn't really living. The breakdown feels like ending, but it's actually beginning. It's your deeper wisdom destroying what your conscious mind would never let go of. Fifth, a capacity to feel joy must be balanced by a capacity to know pain. Our world exists because of duality, light and dark, up and down, joy and sorrow. You can't have one without the other. They define each other. The deeper you can feel pain, the higher you can experience joy. They're not separate experiences. They're the same capacity for feeling, just pointed in different directions. Your heartbreaks aren't taking away your ability to be happy. They're expanding your ability to feel everything. The yin and yang of your emotional self is always in balance. Both are always equally available. The only choice is which one you focus on. Sixth, pain is a signal that something's wrong. Suffering is what happens when we don't listen. Physically, this is obvious. Touch a hot stove, feel pain, move your hand. But emotionally, we're terrible at this. We feel the pain of a dying relationship and stay for years. We feel the pain of living inauthentically and keep pretending. We feel the pain of self-betrayal and betray ourselves harder. We create problems for ourselves because deep down, we believe we deserve pain. We think we need to be punished for being human, for being imperfect, for being ourselves. The heartbreak is what finally gets loud enough to break through that story. It forces us to realize the pain was always self-created, always optional, always trying to teach us that we don't deserve it. In fighting through it, we reconnect with who we actually are, not who we've been told to be. Seventh, the universe whispers until it screams. No traumatic experience is ever completely singular. No heartbreak is ever just about one thing. It's the pattern finally becoming undeniable. It's the 100th time the same lesson showed up. It's the last straw that breaks you open. That devastating breakup, it wasn't just about them. It was about every time you abandoned yourself for someone else. That job loss, it wasn't just about that job. It was about every time you chose security over purpose. That breakdown, it wasn't sudden. You'd been getting warnings for years. The heartbreak is what happens when we ignore the whispers for too long, when we pretend we don't hear what life is trying to tell us, when we need something dramatic enough to finally make us listen. How beautiful, really, that we live in a universe that won't let us stay asleep forever, that loves us enough to break us when breaking is what we need, that whispers until it has to scream, but always, always trying to wake us up to who we really are. Nobody tells you this when you're going through it. When you're in the middle of the heartbreak, nobody says, "Congratulations, you're becoming who you're supposed to be." Nobody mentions that the pain is purposeful, that the loss is making space for something better, that you're not falling apart. You're falling into place. But that's exactly what's happening. Your heartbreak isn't punishment. It's not random cruelty. It's not the universe saying you don't deserve love or happiness or peace. It's the opposite. It's the universe saying you deserve so much more than what you've been settling for. It's life loving you enough to break you out of the prison you built for yourself. It's your soul finally getting loud enough to be heard over the noise of who you think you're supposed to be. The pain you're in right now, it's not destroying you, it's delivering you. The heartbreak you're fighting, stop fighting, let it break you. Let it break you all the way open. Because on the other side of that breaking is everything you've been looking for. On the other side of that pain is the person you're meant to become. The wound is where the light enters. Let it in.